we thought about our libraries and we thought about how our libraries were constructed. We found that those libraries were very quiet places. There weren't places where students could be engaged. We were looking for the 4Cs. We were looking for opportunities for creativity, for communication, for collaboration, and for critical inquiry. And to have that sort of thing done, we were also looking at how students learned and the different learning styles that students have. Some students like to work in small groups, some students like to work in larger groups, and we found that if we were able to transform the libraries to learning commons and have the learning commons split up into different areas so that we could have those different learning styles accommodated with the introduction of the interactive smart boards, small groups of students learning together within grades, across grades, teachers and students learning together.
When people think of traditional libraries, they think of places that are quiet, that are kind of rigid, and you go there to get things out. And it's a very much a physical space with physical things. The new library is a virtual hybrid with a physical space as well. And we're between print books and e-books. We've got Google, but we also have Gale. We have this tension between the World Wide Web and this overwhelming tsunami of information that's coming at our students, and the need for people like me, professional teacher librarians and teachers, to help them swim through that and think critically about what they read and hear and view. So traditional libraries are quieter, but now we have collaborative spaces. So we're in between both spaces, and I think it's all about responding to the needs of our patrons. Kids still prefer to read print, but they're also reading ebooks, and most of the research they're doing now is with Google, and we're trying to encourage them to use quality published resources as well. And I think digital citizenship is a huge piece that the Learning Commons provides. How to make our students their authentic selves online, to be kind, to be positive in their postings. I think that's all part and parcel of the new Learning Commons as well.
Well, the design matters in that it gives teachers the opportunity and students to have collaborative spaces. And those collaborative spaces, whether they're in pods, whether they're in caves in the hall, whether it's the way the furniture is designed in the classroom, they can work in small groups, they can work individually, or large groups, but that fluidity of movement for students and the fluidity of technology that's at their fingertips. Even with our portables, we have tech tubs, and that there's technology in the classroom all the time. So it's that fluidity of design, that they can move in and out of the classroom, and that it's transparent, that people can see, that makes design work.
Well, definitely financial investment was huge. The infrastructure had to change, so Wi-Fi, devices, comfy furniture, those were all physical plant changes, but also having an open approach to technology, allowing students to have access to YouTube and Facebook and all those things that other boards want to block and control. And I think the opportunity is lost then to teach them within that medium how to be good digital citizens. Because if you're not in it with them, showing them the way, then they're not learning from anyone. Or if they're learning from each other, which might even be worse. So it's better to have, from my experience, as a teacher, I can say, this is how we're going to post in KidBlog to our international audience, and this is how we're going to be authentic and yet kind online. And then you can lead them that way. And I think sometimes there's fear and control that prevents this movement towards the Learning Commons. And I would argue it's not just a board-wide or a province-wide, it's more coming from the Canadian Library Association and a Together for Learning document. It's been a vision document for the last 10 years, and it's sort of it's a waving across not just Canada but the United States, this revisioning of libraries. So it was great that Tom D'Amico and the board supported the vision, because I think it also aligned with their vision for technology and the 21st century learner. So it dovetailed very nicely together. When I actually opened this library 12 years ago, and the focus was really on books, research, collaborating with teachers, teachers bringing students in. The students I would see would come to study, to be quiet, 4 to a table. It was very, very strict, shh, very traditional. And I'd say since then, it's very much more a relaxed atmosphere. But yet, those kids that are introverted, that need quiet and solitude to focus, we have a quiet lab. Even the physical furniture, it can be moved around and regrouped and reformed according to the needs of the patrons at that time. So I would say, again, we've always been flexible in meeting the needs of students, but now it's just a kind of a renaissance of how we do that with teenagers.
We set up a sheet, and they sign up to come and meet one of us. And then we sit down in the Learning Commons, and we teach them a certain app or a program on the computer.